Check out what we just got. This is considered a half-scale Nascar. It's a combination between a go-kart and a race car. What more could you want? You get into this beauty by flipping up the hood and stepping down on in. This thing is rumored to go 50 to 100 miles per hour. Look at that. You get down in there, you spring your hood back open. The windshield could use a little cleaning, but you're ready for the racetrack. It came with a built out GX 390 engine. It's not currently in here. The clutch is blown on it, but we know how to fix that. Here's the gas tank here. We'll see what type of crustiness is in there. Let's pop this shell off and take a look at the tubing. Somehow I was able to get this cart for only $800, which is a screaming deal for this beauty. The shell is not currently attached. Oh boy. Hopefully we don't shatter this thing. Look at that, easy as that. Underneath the shell we got a Kirky seat, steering, shocks. This thing's full suspension. I think the brakes are even working at the moment. Kind of, but good enough for us. This thing is very well built. Nicer than any of our go-karts. It's gonna be really fun. It came with this GX 390 that's supposedly built out. It's a little crusty and probably doesn't run at the moment, but we should be able to get it running. Extra tires and harnesses. We're gonna be scooting. This is just a neat looking rig. How could you not want one of these? Fit down in here perfect. This is way better than any other go-kart we've ever had. We got a push start here. I don't know what these are. Nitrous, fuel, speed boost, something like that. The plan of attack for this thing is fix up the engine, put a new clutch on, and in theory that's all it needs. It's currently not running, but we're gonna get it running, then put it in that car, then put a clutch on it. This thing is missing electricals, and it doesn't have a pull start, so we're gonna try to start it on the bench. I don't know. We got some metal shrapnel down on here. The old crusty flywheel. This supposedly ran when parked. First things first, let's check for spark. We're gonna pop the spark plug out of here. Also check to see what the spark plug looks like. Doesn't look terrible. We got a battery. We got it kind of hooked up. We're gonna see if we can get this thing to turn over. Alright, let's check for spark now. Get your eye holes down on that spark plug. You see spark? We got spark, boys. This might be too easy. We got spark. Let's check the carburetor. There's a chance the carburetor's not even dirty because fuel wasn't hooked up to it. So I'm gonna pop the bowl off and take a look inside. This is gonna tell us what we need to know about this carburetor. How crusty this bowl is. No gas is pouring out yet, which is good. It's not terrible. A little crust, but a little crust never hurt anybody. There's a splash. We're gonna do something rarely seen in this garage. I just changed the oil early on in a project, but I want to do it before I get it so jammed in that little frame that it's impossible to change. Doesn't look too bad actually. I don't think there was quite enough in there. So we'll get it emptied, topped off, and we'll be ready to set it on the engine. Alright, let's get this shell off here, which is easier said than done. It's just light enough and just heavy enough. Easy peasy. You don't really have room for this anywhere. Uh-oh. There's a suspect amount of electronicals going down on in here. Yeah. Considering there's no headlights or anything on this, there's way too many wires. Let's drop this engine down in there and start hooking things up. This project is, in some ways, is going a little too smoothly. They probably cut out that bar there to get to the engine better. That's some good fitment down there. Those match up, so in theory they should go together. This one goes to the stator, not the stator, the dilly bob. Okay, I think I figured out the wiring. This will go here, as well as the positive that comes from the battery, which goes up to the dash. And all this should work. In theory, everything should be hooked up down to that end. So if I push the starter button up here, the engine should spin over. That is a good sound. That is awesome. That's a great success. We're making good progress. This sprocket on here is 35 chain, and I don't have a clutch that will work with 35 chain. And I couldn't figure out how to get this apart, but apparently this outer casing unthreads, and hopefully we'll be able to take this apart and swap out the sprocket easily. Whoops. Well, diddle me timbers. I have never seen a sprocket set up like this. Actually, as far as we need to go. In theory, this new sprocket should do the trick. It is smaller, but this one was able to get here the quickest. So that's what we're going with. We have just enough clearance, I think, or else this chain's gonna be rubbing, and we don't want that. So a bigger sprocket would definitely be a good investment. Now, this beefy boy should do the trick. That is a chunky clutch there. Even came with chain. Not positive this is gonna work. Huh. Could be a little dicey here, boys and girls. We're just gonna ignore the clutch problems for now and get back to making sure this engine runs. And if it runs, we'll order up the right clutch. Yeah. Let's check to see if this fuel pump works. I'm just guessing on where this wire goes, but we got a clip lead to the red. We're gonna touch it down here to the red. Sounds like we're pumping. Oh boy, we're squirting. We got a working fuel pump. We might as well just pump out this old fuel, because I don't want to take this tank off. pretty well buggered on there. Sounds like we're getting close to the bottom down in there. Now we can add some new gas to that and try to start this thing up. I am going to go ahead and add a bolt onto this so the engine doesn't rattle around a crazy amount. Perfect. We got the engine mounted. We're going to hook up the fuel, add some fuel, and start cranking this thing over. We got some high-tech gas tank here equipped with foam. Supposedly it's helped with anti-sloshing, something like that. Hopefully regular gas just goes in here. Should be fine. See, this thing starts. We're dripping fuel, but nothing. Keep trying. Nothing. Well, we probably should have cleaned the carburetor, but we can always do that now. Check for spark. It might be turning over, but we might not have spark. Yeah, we don't have spark. Turns out someone hooked this up wrong. I don't know who did that. 2-switch setup here. This engages the starter, and this is the on and off. This was off. Now that it's on, we got a juicy spark. Whoa. She's trying. We got one little pop off, but that's all. Our fuel pump. This little deli bob fell off. I was like, I don't hear the fuel pump going, but there we go. Now she's gonna run. Alright, we need to clean the carburetor. Get this carburetor off of here real quick. Give it a quick cleaning. And try again. We're free. Let's crack this beauty open. Huh. That might have been loose. We'll check what the jets look like, because it doesn't look terrible in here. That is clear. Try to get the next little piece down. Everything looks good in here, so we're just going to put it back together. Carburetor's cleaned. I'm going to try just a bit of starting fluid first before I hook the fuel up. See if that does anything for us. Alright, let's hook the fuel up. Like so. Fuel pump, a little more of this action. No exhaust on right now, but we're scooting. Well, it's day 3 of the $800 race car. Come look down here. We ordered up a clutch. Is the wrong clutch. The shaft is too short, but the new clutch is still 10 days out. So we're gonna try to make this work. It might catastrophically fail, but a failure is better than nothing. Well, let's set up this sketchy clutch. We got a bolt that's gonna thread into the shaft down there and hold this all in place. But there's a good chance it ends in catastrophic failure. But in the Barn Brothers spirit, we're just gonna send it. Got our key. It's perfect length. Slide the clutch on. This is gonna be dicey. Perfect. Should be good enough for a test drive or two. We just gotta scoot this sprocket that way and put a chain on. We got the clutch on, we're getting the chain on, and then I'm gonna bolt the engine on, and we're about ready for a test drive. It's like a real size car, you can crawl right under. Tighten these bolts down. The engine and chain is on. Now I'm just trying to figure out some sort of throttle setup that I can wriggle up. And then we're ready for our first test drive. We got the exhaust going on. We got power to the wheels. Fuel pump's working. Chain is hooked up. Engine is mounted. Let's start this thing up. A little bit of this action. That thing sounds awesome. That is crazy. Well, we're ready for a test drive. We're ready for a test drive. Hold on to your grasshoppers, boys and girls. Hook up our fuel pump here. Battery secure. I think the brakes work. Oh. Yeah, we cooked that clutch quick. Look at this thing. That thing got so hot, and that was about 20 seconds of riding. But we got it moving on 4 wheels. It's a great success. Last time we might have fried the clutch, but we're gonna give it another shot, see what life it has left in it, and get scooting. We did order the right clutch, but that's still about a week out. So for now, we're gonna see what this clutch has left in it. Our clutch is shooting sparks. This clutch is not going to work. That thing is sizzled. The new clutch arrived. We're going to put that on and take it for its first test drive. Climb in through the hood, or as a sunroof as you guys like to call it, and pop this body off. Fun to take on and off. We got the number 3 on there for Amelia Earhart. Great NASCAR legend. Here's the new clutch. This bad boy costs $275, so hopefully we don't fry this one. But let's get this old clutch off, and then put the new one on. Thread our sketchy setup off. Surprisingly, the whole clutch didn't launch off, so that's a win. Sure glad this chain is still gooey as ever. Let's get this sprocket unscrewed so we can switch out back to the 35 chain. Oh, that felt good. Switch the sprockets now. Now we can put these back on. The key that came with that clutch does not fit, so we're going to cut this key down to size. This muffler keeps getting in the way, so we're straight piping her. Perfect. Now we can roll it up on these blocks and put the chain on. We got the new clutch on, chain's going on. Then we're going to need to scoot the engine forward. Then we're ready for a test drive. The new clutch is on, the chain is on. Let's start this thing up and see how she does. This thing is so loud, straight piped. Let's test her out. Today we're test driving this thing. Alright, give me the helmet. Wow, there's water in this seat.
Shame. Shame.
That's what you had in mind?
It's not my fault you're slow. There's a car coming. He's a wee bit smoky.
Hopefully we're not cooking our $300 clutch.
Well, we probably are. Here it comes. Oh, he's coming. He's coming down the hill. Scooting. That thing is crazy. I can hear him way back in the neighborhood. That thing is loud. Oh, I think he's coming back. Hot diggity dog! I can't believe this thing hasn't broken yet. Absolutely cruising. My turn.
This thing is awesome. We were cruising. 10 out of 10 would recommend. This thing scoots.
I don't know why everyone doesn't have a mini cup car.
Me neither.
Nice.
Ready to try it out?
I'm ready. Well, this is gonna be my first test in the mini cup car. We are still gonna have a race, mini cup against the Triple E race car, but we're waiting on parts for the Triple E. So for now, I'm gonna test this slow thing out. This beauty out.
I got my Speedo app ready to go. We're gonna see how fast this will go. Something's clunking. All right, here little Lukey comes. He's cruising. All right, he's coming down the hill. This is top speed here. He is hauling. That thing sounds awesome. What do you think?
Freaking awesome.
Coolest go-kart ever.
Let's see our new top speed.
What's your guess?
I have no idea. Holy smokes! 51.4 miles an hour.
Holy guacamole.
I think that's a new Barn Brothers world record.
Look at this thing.
Now we just got to get the hood back on.
Maybe engine swap this? There's a lot of possibilities.
Freaking neat as heck.
Well, that was a great success. This is definitely one of the coolest things we own. If you made it this far, go check out our merch.
Or a shirt.
Or a shirt. Or a sticker. If you have any good ideas for this, let us know. We'll be putting the shell back on in the future. But that's all we got for this one. Love you guys, bye.
Isn't this thing supposed to have an engine shroud?
I just left it off to piss people off.